Tuesday, February 21st, and we can see it's raining again. And what we can see is the kind of conditions that TriMet bus drivers have to work in, you know, because basically what I'm doing right now is what I'll be doing later, but with a lot of people around me and a much bigger vehicle and much scarier conditions, really. But that is our job. People poo-poo it. People say, oh, that doesn't take any skill. Might not take any skill, but it certainly requires a certain degree of fortitude and bravery. Okay. It's not the kind of job that weak-kneed people need to apply for, because it's not going to be your cup of tea at all. So of course, you know, people poo-poo our position, especially, you know, now that the labor decision has been made and it comes down our side. Of course, even people at Portland Transport, which, you know, they're a more liberal bunch of people, generally speaking, even they're not on our side. You know, it's just, you got nobody on our side, really. It's a terrible state of affairs. You know, and they look the other way with Fred's $15,000 a month pension, and actually the TriMet manager's salaries industry-wide are kind of middle of the road, but that doesn't, so it doesn't mean that that's a good thing or somehow they're getting paid what they deserve. I mean, CEOs pay, competitively speaking, is $50 million and up a year. So in order to be competitive in the world of the CEO, you need to be paying $50 million or more. And you know, just because somebody's getting paid that much doesn't make it right. Is McFarland worth $240,000 plus his giant pension when he gets done? I say no, he's not. He's connected. All of these people are connected, political connections. You know, they can be trusted to deal with the money the way they're supposed to do. You see, that's why they have these jobs, because they will be trustworthy in handing out the money and the contracts according to the plan that they're supposed to be doing. They're just henchmen, you have to remember. They're henchmen of a bigger plan. And McFarland, you know, it's just hard, like Harry Supporter and that Stedman guy. These are $155,000 a year executives. And are they really worth it? I wouldn't say so. I mean, Supporter, I don't see anything coming from him of any value. I don't see anything. I don't see any improvements via the safety program. I showed you the statistics. We have more accidents per 100,000 miles now than we did a year ago. And that's after all the safety nonsense. So statistically, it hasn't done anything. So a lot of money has gone out. They've created this whole, it's been a version of 9/11. It's been the TriMet version of the phony 9/11 incident. They have one horrendous accident in 42 years, and now they have this huge bureaucracy that sprouted up around that one accident in 42 years. If I didn't know better, I would think that maybe they set it up. It was almost like, appears like a setup to have TriMet expand their giant-sized bureaucracy into even more bureaucracy. You know, their whole idea that somehow hiring executives is going to improve safety is unbelievable. Nobody pays attention to that, of course. No. They're just focused on our stupid cost of living increase. Well, a contract's a contract, whether they like it or not. And of course, the big money's going to come out in the, well, actually, that 3% increase is a lot of money for some people. Because 3% of, say you made $50,000 last year, well, 3% of that, well, 3% of 100,000 is 3,000. So $50,000 would be, if you get a check for $1,500. So I probably get a check for like $600 that they owe me, which is, you know, That ain't chump change. That's money, you know, $600, $500. I'll take it. Now, if they lose the health thing, that's where their big money's coming out, because they're going to owe me $165 a month times 12. So they're going to owe me whatever that is, you know, a couple $1,000 maybe. And that's multiplied by every single union employee, of which there are about 1,500. Not everybody took continued taking their premium benefits. A lot of people took the second-rate benefits rather than the premium benefits. And so they're not going to get any refund because they got tricked into that when they should have known better. Anyway, it's also, I want to point out that there's been no media coverage of John Hunt's response. Zero. And our blogger Joe Rose, you know, he's proven to me again that he will bust management on some issues per his bosses. I know that his bosses own him. I don't blame him personally. I know he has to report to that union busting Oregonian. But he didn't cover anything to do with John Hunt at all. Nobody did yet. And I don't see anything on the media, although I do see the media with somebody got shot at near a Max station. I mean, everything that's happening now near a Max station is becoming a news story. And I haven't seen the Vanguard article yet, but let's face it, this stuff is sensationalized. You know, the whole, oh my God, TriMet is dangerous, is sensationalized. It's the media making the message here. We've seen it over and over and over and over. And they don't have a problem with that. The media is really confusing. It's strange to watch them. They love to bash certain aspects of TriMet, but then other aspects they never really touch. Has the Oregonian, I think the editorial board actually, look at that guy, going 60 and they're passing me like 6. This is bad conditions out here, and people just don't know how to drive. It's just irritating. I hope gas goes to $5 a gallon. I want it to go for $5 a gallon. I want to see these people pay in their car. I'm against cars. I wish we had decent public transportation so I could take it, but we don't. I mean, if I were commuting from Center Street, I might be able to take it because I could wait for the 17 maybe. That would come close to my house, and I would be able to walk very close if it was convenient. But even that was only running once an hour when I was getting off duty. I'm not hanging around a garage for an hour. And right now, the Max, you know, the ride is so unpleasant. If I were to get on the Max right now and head over to Merlo, it's so packed. It's so unpleasant. It's just unpleasant. And then when I get off, I have to rush to pick up the Max to go back, and I hate rushing. I don't want to be rushed. And the 15 is always scheduled to leave my Max station, which is PGE Park, 2 minutes before the Max gets there. So that connection is never made, and at that hour of night, it's a half-hour wait. So transit doesn't work for me because I'm coming from out here, the stepchild of the TriMet Transit District, which gets very spotty service. For example, yesterday my 67 had a wheelchair lift stuck, and there was no fill for that bus. They don't have enough operators here. Surprisingly, they still can't cover their runs. They're hiring execs, but they still don't have people to cover their runs. And you know, it's just funny that what the underbelly of this agency is so dark. If people could really understand what was going on here, just don't care. You know, there's no priority here. These people knew they were going to lose that labor dispute. It was obvious that they were going to lose it, but they did it anyway, just for public relations. And as a public relations stunt, I guess it did work, didn't it? You know, apparently it did. What I don't understand is how they can continue to hire and continue to expand and then preach, we don't have any money, we need to have our union people suffer. I don't get it. I'll never understand that. Anyway, the aftermath of the decision is it wasn't really, didn't get that much media coverage at all, really. I mean, I didn't see anything in the Oregonian on it. The Tribune had it. I did see, brought to my attention that Joe Rose covered the wonderful solar panel project that TriMet's doing, you see. Oh, look at how great they're doing with this solar panel project, which of course is completely useless. Does not benefit any actual commuter. But it does have solar, wind, green. Put the word green in there. Greenwash everything to make it pretend like it's like progressive or something. Meanwhile, these buses are sickening, they're breaking, the service is unreliable out here. It's just amazing that, well, I'm such a good driver. See how these people are speeding down the road here? They just cannot relax. It's raining out, it's pouring out. Does anybody slow down and watch what they're doing? No, they're just riding right through like it's great out. Everybody's going, I'm going 60 and they're passing me. I believe the speed limit is 55. And now it's starting to rain heavier. Anyway, I've got 8 days. My countdown is 8 days. That's after today. It's still 9. And this is the crucial week. And yesterday was easy, so you know today is going to be deadly. You know it. Ross has gone on vacation. He's out of here. He didn't want to do that, Phil. He wanted to go home, man. I can't say that I blame him. People have to stop cooperating anyway with what TriMet wants. You have to say no to them. Unfortunately, and this is bad, I mean, who's going to pay that price? It's the passengers, and who's the least responsible for the mess? It's the passengers. And I'm really sensitive to hurting them. That's why I'm not really in favor of a strike. It's just, you're hurting the wrong people. That's not going to do anything except make all the people that need to get somewhere pay. And what's the point of that, really? We're having a traffic back up here. Somebody finally crashed, I suppose so. Wow. We're down to 0 miles an hour over here. I'm down to 15 miles an hour on the right lane. Yeah, I'm really sensitive to letting the passengers have to pay the price for our management screw-ups. I don't like it. I don't know what else you can do though. I mean, all of this shit has to trickle down to them, unfortunately, and that's really a damn shame. But I don't know what else to do, really. I mean, I don't think anything's going to happen here. We're just going to limp on through. And I wish John would make a public appearance. I'm going to try to get him. Portland Transport said that they would give him equal time, and I'm going to try to convince him to go on. Portland Transport, at least, is not corporate media. They're about as best as we're going to get here. I mean, they're pro-management, pro-rail, but they're the best group of transit reporters we have in this area, really, and they are the most, they're independent, they're not corporatized, so that would be my plan, is to get John Hunt to get on Portland Transport.